Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be unboxing and showing you this Union Pacific FEF-3. It's built by Katsumi and imported by Westside Model Company. Bit of backstory on the FEF-3. It is the third and final rendition of the Union Pacific Northern class. They were called the FEFs for 484. So the FEF-1 was started built in 1937 to replace the earlier Union Pacific 7000 series, which is the 482 mountain type locomotives. So between all three variations, there was 45, so number 800 through 844. And 844 is obviously the most famous, and that is an FEF-3. So there was little changes, like the FEF-1 only had a single stack and had 77-inch drivers, and this has 80-inch drivers and dual stacks and a bigger tender, just minor improvements throughout the years. But like all of them had roughly the same tractive effort, between 500 pounds difference, I think right around 70,000 pounds. These locomotives could go 120 miles an hour with freight. They did. So if we unbox the locomotive, this locomotive has the wrong number. This is also not how I got it. Just some extra decals and foams there. I unboxed it and made sure it run. I had this locomotive for a few weeks, but I haven't made a video on it yet, just because when I got it, I kind of forgot to take a video of it, just because I wanted to get it to run. But as you can see, wrong number, 845. But other than that, it's the Greyhound scheme. You can see it's a little light there. You can see I drilled out the Mars light. Kind of put a speed install decoder in here. It was pretty busy, so I just did that quickly. So there's no tender light. So the decoder is in here. So the weight has a pretty big weight, so the weight ends here, and up here is just free space. So there's a decoder, and I put the remember it's one or two speakers, but I put the speakers up there, so this sound comes right out of there. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's the light. Even though this locomotive was built in 1973, it's still really detailed. I mean, it's got brake shoes, unlike some of the early PFMs. But got a back head. This came with an open frame motor, but I put a fall hopper can motor in there. This has an ESU, I think, low sound select decoder, and some ESU sugar cubes, which are great little speakers, but it's a little quiet. There's also a little stuttering, which I have with one of my other brass locomotives with an ESU decoder. It's weird, but it starts off, if you do it on 1% throttle, it doesn't really work very well. But continuing on to the tender, you can see the tender's in pretty good condition. I'm just thinking about like maybe painting this black. I don't know yet. But you can see they did the wood. The line's really straight and the wrong number. Something I've never seen is, though, is just kind of painted over the coupler, which is something I've never seen before. But there's nothing in here. So just the decoder is wired. Everything is in the engine. So if I want to put a light in there, I just really have to do a little TCS 2-plug connector. This is not the original foam, I believe. That's what the source said. I got this engine with just like completely stock for $2 and a quarter on eBay. It's a pretty good price. I've been looking for one of these for a while. I just never found one that was reasonable, so I made an offer, and it was accepted. So I'll get this over onto the track, and you guys can see how it runs. It runs really good. So now that you have the forward 4 on the layout, you can see, looks really good. Big engine, beautiful. A little thing is, though, you can see there. I'm just pointing my finger, but you can see there where the decal almost kind of peeled off or like rubbed off. It's what I'm guessing. But one reason I want to test the locomotive like so eagerly is, and the reason I forgot to film like a unboxing like when I first got it with like completely stock, is I want to see if it go around my layout. So I only have 24-inch radius curves. So, because it's a 7x12 layout in a bedroom, I was worried that it wouldn't run because I had a Riverossi FEF-3 before this, the red box, like the big stupid annoying box one, if you know what I mean. I made a video about it, so if you want to watch it, you can go see it. But I wasn't super happy. I mean, it ran beautifully. I mean, when I took the decoder out, it still ran amazingly. But you know, I just thought a brass engine's better. Also, I could never find a traction tire for the old one, and since it was lighter, because it's a plastic model, even with the weight, could only pull 15 cars. But right now I got like 13 or 14 cars on there, and a track cleaning car. It's a Walther's track cleaning car. But this locomotive runs amazing. So it has a idler gearbox. So even with like an old crummy, well not crummy, an old open frame motor, it still ran quieter than some of my other engines. It still ran just as quiet as my other engines with CAN motors. Something interesting is though, if any of you guys know anything, I have another Union Pacific Mountain that is a later KTM. It has the idler gearbox and all, but I had a Katsumi 482 Union Pacific. I don't know who made it, but what's interesting is though, I've seen some of the Westside ones and they have that gearbox, but mine had like a United style one like that where it just no idler gear. And it ran really badly and it pissed me off because whenever I saw one, it would be like, oh, that one runs really well. Why doesn't mine do that? And I took it apart and I was like, that's probably why. And I swapped it out and it was why. But nonetheless, I got rid of that engine because right now I don't have space to keep two of the same engine. So as I said earlier, this locomotive has a Faulhaber. Really good motor brand. So, and I'll also show you the jump. So that's one speed. Sorry about that pause. I just was turning on the layout. So that's one speed. See, and then there's 8. But you can see just how well it runs. And that just runs like that runs just as good as my Riverossi one. Like just equally as good. This one pulls pretty well though, so. That's full speed, so it's not super fast. But I don't really care. So I'll get the light down, I'll pull it up a little bit. You can see it just pulls that car with ease. I haven't like done like a pull test yet. I might have to do that. I don't have one like the fancy pull gram, like the weight sensor to see how much it pulls, but I find that just making a train as long that goes around my layout and then it goes back to here and then taking cars off till it can't pull works also just as well. So we turn the light on. There we go. And it's pretty bright light. We'll turn that on. There we go. So, if you can hear, the sound's coming from right there. Which I believe makes it way better than having like the speaker back there. Because especially like when you're doing like a close-up shot, it sounds so much better than like you just hear quiet and then that comes along. It's just so much better. Like I have a Paragon 3 Big Boy BLI, and it sounds weird because like if I try to take a video of it, it sounds weird because there's like nothing. I'm like, that's weird, but what can you do about it? So you can hear. I love that sound. You got the bell. Great bell. Got the cover disconnect. That's really all the functions. I think this is a low sound select. So I think it's more of a basic decoder, but it's still fine. So well. And you can see it's got that perfect 4 chuff per revolution. Oh. Oh. So I'll just take some like close-up shots of this running past, so I can, and then yeah.